Be fearful when others are idiots. G'day guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Tim, and on today's episode, we're taking a look at Bitcoin. I feel compelled to make this video because I'm seeing so many posts on social media how bullish people are. They're talking about retirement, they're talking about leaving their jobs, they're talking about getting rich by Christmas, we're talking about 10x from here and 20x, 30x, all sorts of crazy things. And I just want to bring people back down to earth and show the bearish case right here, because I think the evidence is overwhelming, absolutely overwhelming. And I'm going to show you something I've picked up in the chart, particularly around here, this dead cat bounce area that we've seen in the past, and a very similar pattern that's almost playing out identically to what happened in the past. All right, so let's get stuck in. So right here, this is Bitcoin. This is the current Bitcoin chart. We can see right now that we reached a peak here at about $53,000, which was a lower high from up here. And we've seen this before on every other cycle, the lower high followed by the crash down. And it's very, very common. But something that you may not have noticed in the past is we don't just crash down from that point. We actually go down and people buy the dip. And that's probably because people are so bullish that they think this is just a pullback and we're going to shoot off up into space right here. But check out this. I compared the 2014 and 2018 dead cat bounces from the 50 week, or in this case, this is a daily chart. So I made it the 350 day, which is the same as the 50 week. You can see we bounce off it. We get really bullish. We turn around and we go back down. So we did that on all three occasions. However, look closely. Look in 2014, we reached a peak, then we went down and did a double bottom. There was a bit of a dip down here. Then we had this bullish momentum going up and we reached a second peak. In this case, it was a lower high, and then we went down. And you can see it wasn't a crash. We just had a couple down days in a row, then a little bit green day and a bit, red and green, until at this point we started just going red. And that's when it started going really bearish. So it wasn't bearish at first. There was no obvious crash. But we did start going down after the lower high. However, check out this, 2018, we bounced off the 50 week, just like we've done on these other occasions, reached a peak here, then we went down. We did somewhat, you could argue, a double bottom, or maybe even just a higher low, which looks very bullish. And then we even did a higher high before turning around. So imagine how bullish people were in both these scenarios. We had the dip and then we start making a comeback. Oh, this is just a pullback. We're going off into space. And the same thing again here. Imagine this. We made a higher high of all things. So this would have been so bullish. Big green candle, another red, another green candle, and then we turned around and it was this red, green, green, red. Gets really, really bearish. And once we cross through the 50 week or 350 day, we never recover. We've never recovered from that point. So let's have a look at today. So again, we reached the peak. We did the double bottom, very, very similar, especially to 2014, even with the timeframes here. Now we've gone up with a bullish momentum, very similar to this. It almost looks identical. And, we don't know how high we go up. We might make a lower high like we did in 2014, but maybe we make a higher high. Who knows? But what's very similar, or what's likely to play out, is we'll most likely turn around and follow the same pattern that we've always followed. Now, let's have a look at the chart, and we'll look at some particular points where Bitcoin may go to. So I've just drawn a couple of trend lines. I've got a line here from this point to this point, and that draws right through here. And that means if we reach that point, that brings Bitcoin to about 51.5K. So maybe we get up to that high. Maybe we go to a double top, which would be about 53K, maybe a bit below. Maybe we go to this trend line here, which if I zoom out, this was the trend line that was basically at the bottom of the head and shoulders that we reached for the 53K point. So maybe we get up here at about 53.5K. Maybe we don't go up much higher from where we are. So either way, somewhere in this range right here is where I believe Bitcoin will get to, and then it will turn around, and it may not be an obvious bearish crash all in one go. It might be a couple of red days, another green day, a couple of red days. We'll have to see how it plays out. Just while we're here, I've noticed also in the RSI, this is the daily RSI. You can see there is a bit of a trend line here. We've had this bearish divergence going down. We had a bit of a dip right down here, and then we've gone back up again, and we are due to hit this same trend line very soon. So maybe this is the point that we go to, unless we overshoot it. We'll have to see. And the stock RSI is also up quite here in the overbought section. So let's see how that one plays out. Hope you enjoyed that content. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. And until next time, I'm Tim, and cheers.